because people watching are now believing in it more than they were previously.
True.
It's hard to tell which one of those two things is happening, but
no, it's definitely the second one, or it being what, Saturday night, Sunday night,
Sunday
1 a.m.
Sunday night, Monday morning, Sunday night. Yeah.
What day is it?
that has been the whole thing.
Local time. That's what day it is. It's local time.
It's 12 local time.
You know, we've never put the date up there, have we? We've always just put the time.
That's important. I like that.
So what day is it? Oh my god, have we been really here for 5?
Like internally, I'm pretty sure that I mentally put the yesterday's shift out on Saturday and this shift on Sunday.
Yeah, me too. It's when I woke up, so
because it's like over the time that you are awake.
I do remember my first desert bus.
Really?
Not all of it, God no. But Desert Bus 5, I flew in and slept on Jerry and Tally's floor, which was very
your
nice. Your
arms were tired.
Mm-hmm. Boy, were my arms tired. But I flew in, did the overnight because people who had told me, they're like, "There's nobody ever there on the overnight." I'm like, I will just stay up all night. Why not? Like, I'll just drop in unannounced. I'll just be here to do it, and people be like, "Oh, that's cool. Beach is here." I barely have met this guy, but sure, he's here now. So let him just do his thing. He seems kind of like not like he's crazy. And so I stayed, and then I was like, I gotta go because like after several days, it's like I gotta go. I booked my flight. I gotta go home, and I got a ride from I forget who gave me a ride, but they gave me a ride to the airport. And then I walked up to the counter, and I'm at like 45 minutes early for my flight. So I'm like, and there's nobody around because of the time of the evening it is. There's just nobody there, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm here to check in for my flight." And they're like, "Okay, what's your name?" And they do whatever. And they're like, "We don't have a ticket for you." And I'm like, but I booked my ticket. And I told them what was going on and why I was like flying in and flying out. And they're like, And they search for me and they're like, "Oh no, here you are. You flew out last night." I'm like,
Yes,
"Sorry,
you
what?"
did.
And they're like, your flight was yesterday. It was 24 hours ago at this exact time. Yes, it's the same flight. It was 24 hours ago. And I was like, I didn't realize time had changed that much. Like,
you also didn't realize that you were already back in Alberta.
Yeah, the time just kind of like it all smeared together, and apparently I was already home. So.
Yeah, you were actually in the Alberta airport. You're like, they're like, "Sir, you've been here for the last 24 hours, just standing comatose in the middle of the
the Calgary airport." Just
in the middle of the airport.
Yeah, and it wasn't that there's no people at Zeta. There was no food at Zeta was what the warning was.
Right.
Because there was already stuff going on like Derp Line and QOP nonsense.
But
things got quite desperate a few times overnight. I remember there was like calls for people to just like come by with food.
Yeah. And it was just like ultimately I did get home because I was just doing this 24-hour marathon for 7 days, and I booked my flight out, and I thought tonight was yesterday. And they're like, "Okay, well, we'll rebook your ticket. Do you have $50? I'm like, "Yes." "Great, we'll just use your credit from the flight you didn't fly out on that you missed by 24 hours. Like, please stop saying that.
And then you're like, "Here's $50," and they're like, "Sir, this is Japanese yen."
I'm like, "Oh, that's weird because I've never been to Japan."
They're like, "This is Nagoya, sir."
It would have been a hell of a trick if somehow I ended up on a flight to Japan instead and just was like, "I'm here now," and then call Heather from Narita and just be like, "I really screwed up, but I'm here now."
Yeah, don't come home at that point.
Yeah, I'm here now, so is there anything you want from Japan? Because if I come home without anything, I'm really in trouble.
Now, the longer you spend there without Heather, the more murdered you'll get.
Yeah. So I'm booking you a flight now? She was in school at the time, right? She was.
Oh, lovely.
So it's like I She wouldn't come out and saw me. So I was never in Japan. I don't know why I'm keeping this for, you know what? I'm going to be like 80 years old and all of these things are going to come back as weird memories. Like, remember that time when this happened? And
I feel like any story you tell could just end with an itemized receipt. Like, it's just like, and then the funnel cost me $4, and the muffin tray cost me $3, and then I went back to the Princess Auto later, and I didn't have my receipt.
So all of my stories revolve around commerce.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the floss I bought? That's a story. It's not interesting, but it's certainly a story.
There's been a few times on like watch like QI, and Ellen Davis will be like halfway through telling a story and be like, "Wait, no, that's just one of those stand-up bits that didn't actually happen to me."
That's the real danger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, being an old comedian. Like, can you imagine like Seinfeld just falling into one of his old bits?
I need to. I'm gonna eventually stop remembering that the night I hit Ian with my car. That'll be good.
You're not gonna forget that.
I will tell my children about that as a cautionary tale.
You will comfortably cherish that memory.
Oh,
forever.
I don't. I was in traffic the other day, just sitting waiting for like the light to turn green, and my mind just flashed back onto that for a second, and I just had the worst feeling. I was like, I did the worst thing. I did the worst thing. And we all laughed about it when it happened, including Ian. We were all having a great time.
Yeah.
And I did the worst thing. That could have gone so many bad ways. And just like, it was just stripping me down to my core, and the light turned green. I'm like, okay, just drive. Just put it out of your mind and just drive.
And then like the people like going across at the crosswalk are all Ian. Who look over at you.
I blame Kyle Kinane because he does a bit about how all the things that he remembers from childhood, he just doesn't ever get rid of. It's like, remember that time you dropped a brick on a frog? Oh yeah. It's like that kind of thing. You killed a small animal. Yeah, that's a thing that serial killers do, Kyle. And it's just like, yeah, I hate those moments. Those are the worst.